Hi, my name is Rea Garvey and I'm here in the home of Gibson in Berlin, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite guitars. Even though I'm a singer, I do consider myself a guitarist. There's many people in the world who don't consider me a guitarist, but I'm going to prove you wrong right now. It's not about a great guitarist though, it's about great guitars. I love history. I love the idea that many people have played these guitars before me and that many people will play them after me. Because guitars, like all music instruments, have to be kept alive, and you can feel it in the sound, nearly the story of every other player, and it inspires you. This is the first Gibson that I ever bought, and it was a highlight for me. It's a Dove. It was the first time that I had a guitar in my hand where I really felt like all the elements were there. Its sound is full, and as a rhythm guitarist I want to hear the whole guitar, even though sometimes you get this feeling that all the strings are one. I like the idea of hearing every individual string. So if you consider sound to be like this, then this is the whole rainbow. It's just a beautiful sound. And when I played it first, I felt like a better player. I felt like a better guitarist. And I've written so many good songs on this guitar, and the guitar inspires me. The funny thing was, when I had it first, whoever had it before me was a heavy smoker. I have this image of this really old guy leaning over this guitar, cigarette in mouth, and playing this guitar. And because when I started playing it first, I kept on getting this smell of cigarettes, and I'm like going, jeez, where's this coming from? And it was coming from the hole. And I was just, yeah. Me and the old guitarist, we were together for a while, so. This guitar just wants me to write songs. I love it. It's a beautiful guitar. It's my favorite guitar, no question about it. And I tend to take it everywhere with me, even though it's old and most people are afraid it might get broken. I think you have to, if you love an instrument, you look after it, and it'll love you right back. I love the work, the workmanship is just amazing. And yeah, so this was my first Gibson. And I'm going to show you now. I bought this, I think, about 2007, so 7 years ago. And now I'm going to show you the guitar that I next found. It's a tenor guitar from Gibson, which I bought in Denmark Street in London. And I was working on my second solo album called Pride, and I knew it was going to be a very Irish influenced album. As an Irish person, I had so much music that I'd never written before, and I wanted to write it. I wanted to be inspired by the instruments I was playing, and the first song I wrote for the album was written on this guitar. It's called As You Go, and it's a very simple guitar. And it's funny because tenor guitars, they built them to replace the banjo. So a lot of banjo players before wouldn't be heard because the sound systems were getting bigger, everything was getting electrified. And so a tenor guitar was the attempt to replace the banjo. And you feel like you're in the fields, you know, you feel like you're in the fields, you feel like you're at home when you hear this sound, because it has that tuning from a banjo. And I can't play it as well as I would love to be able to play it, but there is something about it. If you know roughly how to play guitar, you start putting your finger on spots and you start finding melodies, and it just starts making sense. That's a new one. I'm unfortunately like the guy who buys a new TV. I don't read the book. I just turn it on and hope it works, and whatever problems I have, I tend to resolve them. And the worst thing that could happen is I go and look at a book. And that's kind of what I have. This is the relationship I have to this guitar. I pick it up and I try and find chords, things that make sense, because I really believe that if you learn everything in the order that everybody else learned it, then you're going to write every song that everybody else has already written. So it's like the idea of finding what you think are new chords inspire you to write new songs. lot of Irish music is written on open tuning as well. So Dadgad is one of the classics. And it's all those rhythms and that kind of, the idea that even though you're playing only one string, you're getting a whole chord from the guitar at the same time. And that offered this to me straight away. I really felt like you know, I don't know, when you find a guitar, you have to fall in love with it. It has to inspire you. You have to have the feeling that it's yours.